Which is better, cash games or tournaments? Well, that depends on your style of play. Winning poker players play to their strengths, and the skills needed to thrive in cash games is different than what's needed for tournaments. In this video, we highlight the 4 biggest differences between cash game strategies and tournament poker, so you can choose the format that fits you best. Now, the first difference is in the game structure. In cash games, the blind levels remain constant. Your chips hold their value throughout. What's a strong bet at the start of a session is still a strong bet hours later. This is great for tighter players who love to play in their range. Now, in tournaments, your chips lose value over time. A bet of 1,000 chips can be a massive power play early on, but might not even cover the ante later. Now, this means you need to adapt your play constantly. Here's how you might play ace-king suited in completely different ways in a cash game versus a tournament. In this cash game, you tagged the player UTG as loose aggressive. He raises to 7. The table folds to you on the button. You call. Big blind also calls. Flop comes 10 of hearts, 8 of hearts, 2 of spades. The big blind checks, and lag boy bets 10. Lag players, loose aggressive, often try to bully their way to winning a hand. But you know this already because you watched our video on the 4 different types of poker players available here. So he bets 10 to your nut flush draw and 2 overcards. You call. Big blind folds, and you're now one-on-one with the maniac. Maniac is just another way to call loose aggressive players. Turn comes, queen of hearts. Boom, you hit your nut flush. Lag boy bets 30. This is a cash game. Your chips retain their value, so you can stay disciplined post-flop. Oh yeah, well done! Contrast this with a tournament, where blinds increase every 10 minutes. And every 10 minutes, the value of your chips reduces. And the only way to keep your leverage is playing aggressive. This is great for dynamic, adaptable players who thrive under pressure. In a tournament, an aggressive pre-flop shove with ace-king suited is often the right call. The rising blinds can quickly eat your stack. You need to pick spots to accumulate chips before your stack becomes too small to put pressure on other players. This is Tournament Strategy 101, demanding you take calculated risks early to build a stack. The second big difference is how you manage your stack. Cash games give you freedom on demand.
What will you do without freedom?
Top up your stack at will, or lock in your progress and walk away. You control the tempo. Tournaments are another universe. One stack, one shot, no reloads, no retreats. As the blinds rise, so does the tension. Every raise echoes louder. Then comes the bubble, a psychological pressure cooker. Big stacks throw their weight around. Short stacks play a high wire act, balancing patience and boldness. It's poker at full throttle. Momentum, mind games, and survival instincts colliding. Another difference is the psychology. Now, cash games are usually more relaxed. If you lose chips, you can just buy some more. So one bad play won't stop your game. You can step away whenever you need to, especially if you start getting upset. It's a better game for players who can stay cool and focus on the big picture. Tournaments, however, are a grueling test of endurance. A deep run can be undone by one bad hand. Number 4, skill versus luck. Now, both formats take skill and have an element of luck. But in cash games, unlimited reloads and steady blinds even out the swings over time. That's why poker cash game strategies is a test of patience, precision, and psychological stamina. In cash games, you can fold draws if the pot isn't right, or if your opponent shows strength. You may want to cut losses and wait for better spots. So here's how you might want to play suited connectors in a cash game versus a tournament. You have a 9 of hearts and 8 of hearts on the button. You raise to 7. Small blind folds and big blind calls 5. Now the flop is 10 of hearts, 7 of spades, 3 of hearts. Ooh, you have a flush draw and open-ended straight draw. The other player checks. You bet 10 and they insta-call your 10. Turn is a 3 of diamonds and they bet 25. You wisely decide to fold. Now tournaments, especially early on, have a higher element of luck. Taking calculated risks can be a good idea. So skill dominates in the late stages. But getting there often involves catching lucky breaks. So imagine the same hand in a tournament setting. You have a 9 of hearts and 8 of hearts on the button with 20 big blinds. The cutoff limps in, so you try to steal the blinds by betting 2,400, 3 times the big blind plus the limp. The small blind folds, but the big blind calls. Cutoff folds. When the flop hits, you count 15 outs, 9 hearts for a flush, plus 6 more cards, the non-heart 6s and jacks, to complete the straight. Now the big blind leads into you for 2,400. The pot is now 8,100. A call costs almost a third of your stack. You're sitting at 43rd with 57 left. Top 36 get paid. Whew, the bubble pressure is a building. You don't call. You don't wait. You go all in for maximum leverage. The big blind tanks and folds. Now that's not just a win, it is a momentum shift. You leap from 43rd to 32nd in the standings, breathing down the bubble's neck. Right spot, right move. In tournaments, a strong drawing hand with a decent stack to blind ratio, you often need to commit your chips. The pressure of increasing blinds means you cannot afford to just check fold a strong draw, especially if your opponent commits. You often need to be the aggressor, or call shoves with significant equity to survive and build your stack. So in short, cash games give you freedom. Play when you want, leave when you're done. Perfect for players who value control and flexibility. Tournaments give you a shot at poker glory. Perfect for players who thrive under pressure, are intuitive, and want to go for the big prize. If this helped you understand the differences between cash games and tournaments, make sure to subscribe. We've got more videos coming that'll tighten up your game.